Welcome back on my channel. My name is Ashuni, and today we're going to learn how to use the Mixamo animation for Unreal and in Houdini. First I'm going to take my friend's character that I made for him. Okay, so he's an indie developer and he needs a new rig because he's switching from game engine, is going from Unity to Unreal. So this is the character we are going to change its rig. Now if I drop a null here, we're gonna have the original old rig. Old. So we have the old rig. If I drop a rig pose here, we're going to see that all of the bones are the axes are kind of ass, and like this is not a rig that would work with the Mixamo, sadly. So we're just going to re-export this, only the geometry first. Before re-exporting it, we're going to scale it up so that the scale is right for Unreal. So we scale it from 100 times. Did I need to do anything else? I think the attributes should all be fine. We have this in here. We need to have the shop material path has to be the same as the FBX material name. Right now in the FBX material path, if I check real quick, we only have one, and it's this, which is totally wrong. So what I'm gonna do is drop a attribute wrangle and put it in primitive. We're going to take the S, we're gonna write S for string, at for attribute, and then drop underscore material path. And then this equals, once again, S for string, at for attribute, and the attribute we're going to get is FBX underscore material underscore name, if I recall, and we put the dot and the comma at the end. And here we go, it's been updated properly. So now we got our stuff, our materials are being set properly now, so that's great. Now I'm going to export it. So FBX, just a normal FBX output, since it's only geometry, there's no bones. In the output file, I'm going to put it in my export folder. The name is going to be smCapitalFrogman.fbx, and we're gonna check build hierarchy from path, and the path attribute is going to be name, because on my character there is no actual path attribute as of now. The only thing we're going to change, the extra thing we're going to change is check the compute smoothing groups, and from there we can save to disk. Going to save as well. And what I like to do is I always like to double check in Unreal if the geometry works, and from there we can keep on going. Perfect. So we got scene. I'm going to drop a new character characters. It looks so weird for some reason, I don't know why. Another folder called Frogman, and another folder called Meshes. And in here, I'm going to drop in the geometry we just exported. So in export, smFrogman, drag and drop. I'm gonna use pipeline default. I'm gonna uncheck textures, uncheck material. We don't have anything to do anywhere else, and in all, I'm going to search for combine, and we're going to combine static mesh because we want it to be all in one. And if we preview, we can see we have We could have imported 2 materials for the character, but we won't be doing this. And we got the SM frogman, right? So if we import, put it in the scene, looking nice. And now just to make sure the material IDs work properly, I'm gonna bring in the textures we have for the character. Just the color, we don't really need to do something too complex, just because it's just for testing. A material folder, we're going to create a new master material frogman. We open it, save, and in here I'm gonna hold T and click to spawn a texture sample. And in the texture sample, I'm going to search for default, and we're gonna just take one of the default textures that come with Unreal, plug it into the base color, and we are going to right click on the texture sample and convert to parameter. I'm gonna call this textures. Apply, save, and now I'm gonna make a material instance. So me underscore, I'm gonna call this body, and I'm gonna duplicate it. And the second one is going to be called rest. You can call them whatever you want. It's just I call them like this because this is the name of the materials I've set on the mesh. So if I check here, you can see the slot is body, slot is rest, so it's just easier for me to see afterward. So if I take the body and I put him into body, and I take the rest and put him into rest, you can see the textures are being applied. Now we're just gonna go here, double click on both of the material instance to open them, and in body I'm going to check textures, and I'm going to take the body texture color, and as you can see the color is applying properly, and we're gonna do the same for the rest. Here we go. So the textures are being applied properly. Now that we know that the geometry works fine in Unreal, we can move on to Mixamo to import the mesh. So if I go in Mixamo, in characters, this is weird. Let me go back here, browse character, just so everything loads properly. We're gonna go to upload character, and we are going to get our static mesh of the character and bring him into Mixamo. Once it is in, you're gonna see your character like this, and it's just a preview of front face forward. So yeah, the character should be looking at you from here. If it's not, play with these to make it look at you. And now we're gonna do next. I'm gonna take the chin. You got a template here of where you should place these bones. Perfect. And for this character specifically, I'm gonna take the skeleton load for 3 chain fingers because there's only 3 fingers on this character. Keep symmetry check if your character is symmetrical, and then we're gonna do. Okay, so now the autorig is done. What we are going to do is hit next, and from there we will not add any animation right away. We're gonna hit download. We're gonna change the pose for the original pose, and we are going to download the base character because it's going to be the base for the new. So if I hit save and I go to where my project is, I go to desktop, frogman, and I'm gonna put him inside my assets and call it SK frogman. So we got our SK frogman here. And from there, we can actually already import it into Unreal. So in here, I'm going to go into meshes and import him into Unreal. Bring him in. I'm gonna use default pipeline. And once again, we're gonna combine all of the meshes. We are going to go into the textures and like uncheck import textures, uncheck import material. Into animation, we are going to uncheck animation. We don't have to actually, so that's pretty great. I think we should be fine. If we preview, we're gonna see we have the skeleton, the mesh, and the physical assets, and the physics assets for simulations and other stuff. So now we are going to import this new character, and we will place him into the world. Oh, I forgot to put them into the right sub level. Okay, so we're gonna place them into the world, and if we hit play, we can see our character is already falling all around like this. This is actually great. Now in SK Frogman, I'm just gonna apply the materials properly. So the same way we did with the static mesh of the frogman, we are applying the textures and everything works as they should. So now if we jump back into Houdini, because the only problem with this is that we are quite limited with the bones we have. What would be good to have, especially for this character in particular, it would be nice to have a bone for the jaw. Right now there's no bone for the jaw. If I go into the head, you see there's the neck here, the head, and then we got the top head. Other than that, we are missing a root here, and after this we are missing bones for the laces and a bone socket for the hand. If I go to one of the hands, left, just because it's right there. If I took this one, you see we only have index, middle, and thumb, which is great. It's perfect, but we also need a socket in case we want to add props like a gun, a sword, or like I don't know, a cup, for example, to our character, or even like you want him to spray some kind of effects from his hand, you would need a socket for that kind of stuff, a socket bone. Now we're gonna go back into Houdini, and we're gonna duplicate this. We're gonna re-import the new rig. So in assets, we have SK Frogman. So this is the character. I think the only problem is that the shop material has been resetted for whatever reason, but it really doesn't matter because we still have the FBX material name. And once you import the character into Unreal, it as a skeletal mesh, it takes in consideration the FBX material name instead of the shop material path. So this is just a good thing to know. So now if I take this and I write base geo, so we got the base geo, base bones, and base anim. Now to see the hierarchy of the character in somewhat of an outliner type of view, we can okay, my Houdini might look a little different from what you use. So what to have my geometry spreadsheet here, I did a split top bottom. Is going to split them, and then you right click here, and then you will get your geometry spreadsheet. And now to get the bone hierarchy outliner, you do plus here, new pan tab type, and go down to animation, break tree, and you will see all of your bones. Now it's kind of whack because we have a namespace that Mixamo has added to the bones. So we're gonna go into our FBX character import and remove namespaces from joint name. Now all of our joint are named properly without the stupid namespace. If we look at the weight at the weight of the character, if I just do a quick joint paint joint capture paint, you're going to see that the character's joints are not really painted properly. You got this that's like, I mean, it is sort of painted properly, but not really at the same time. It would be better to just have our own weight painting for the character, right? So that's what we're gonna do. So first off, we're not gonna use the base bone, we're gonna use the animation bones because there are already more bones in this one. Or actually no, the bones that are in the base are all the bones that are binded to the character. All the animation bones are extra bones. So from here we're going to do a joint capture by harmonic, and we're going to connect all of these. Now we have a preview of what's being binded and how it's being binded. The one thing I'm gonna start with are the eyes. I'm gonna start with from the top down instead of bottom up. So we're gonna start with the eyes. All right. If I drop a OBG merge. Oh, matter of the fact, just to make sure if I ever change the character, it's going to be set to, we're gonna cache the character so that if I ever change the naming of this, it's not affecting everything else. In GO, I'm gonna put him into frogman. Retake. And OS is going to be frogman base. Yeah. And save to disk. Perfect. And then now we can actually disconnect this. And we have our character that's coming in like that. So we're gonna take the geo. From here, we will wait, and just making sure I don't have anything else that's displayed. We're going to take the eyes. So I'm gonna blast, check non-selected, and we're going to select the eyes. Right eye. But yeah, they're both one in another, but it's totally fine. We're gonna use the connectivity to disconnect them. And now okay, point. It's class equal 0. Perfect. Well, now we can extract the centroid to get a point in the middle, and I'm gonna call this rename this to left eye, and in here I'm going to change the name for $OS so it takes the name of the node, and in class we're gonna change it to point because we're doing this in the points space, I guess, or whatever. Now we're going to mirror this. Okay, so this is not the left, this is right actually. I'm gonna take this one instead just so I can keep going with the hierarchy I usually use. So In the mirror, I'm gonna uncheck keep original. We're gonna retake this name, and I mean, it doesn't really matter for now to be like extra procedural because it's literally 2 bones. So we change right eye, left eye to right eye, and then we can merge these together. And now we are going to bring in these into this. So if I lower this a little bit, we are going to take this, merge. We are merging the extra binded bones to the bone hierarchy. So now if I look at this, the only problem right now is that the eyes are taking more space than they should. We're going to use a normal bone deform, and it is still acting up. I think it's literally just because it is not the same from there to there. So in the bone deform, I'm going to drop a rake pose. Right. Make sure we see the eyes, the character, and then if I try to move the eyes, you're gonna see the weights is all over the place, right? This is not very good. So now, what we're going to do about this is split split the geometry. So we got here, got the eyes, the right eyes, right? And then we got the rest that goes in here. And in the right eyes, we're going to create a new joint by harmonic just for the right eyes, and now they should be they should normally be connected properly. So if I look at this, my viewport is a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. But it seems like they were assigned properly. So if I merge them, so it would be this and this, and then I'll take this and merge them into here, and we're just gonna keep going with the bone hierarchy that we have here. And in this, actually, the only bones that are going to be connecting are the right eye and I mean are the eyes. So just put it like this. This way it gets both of them. So perfect. So now if I come here and I move this, it is wrong for some reason, and it's because here I need to remove the right eyes from, well, the eyes from the bones that are going to get taken in consideration. So here we only have the right eye, the eyes being considered, and in here we have everything but the eyes being considered. And if I come back here, we can see that been assigned properly. I can move the eyes however I want, and they work fine. Now, another thing that we need to do is to drop this by 2. I'm going to add a parenting joint, parent joint node. to the mix so that we can parent the head, well, the eyes with the head. So now if I come here and I try to move, let's say, the hips, everything moves together. If I didn't have that, nothing would move together. The eyes would just stay there, and we don't want that. Perfect. And this is like a very basic weight system for now. So in the next video, I'm gonna show you how to better do the weights. It's just for this video, I wanna focus on getting the skeleton properly implemented into Unreal. Okay, so now we got the eyes. The next would be the jaw for the mouth. So what I'm gonna do is take this blast, duplicate it, maybe lower it here, maybe put this here just to be clean. And then we're going to select by name this part of the character. I'm gonna extract the center. So centroid. Perfect. So now we have the bone. I'm just going to change how I display my points, just because I personally think it looks better if it's like this instead of straight points. In like it's easier to see, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, so extract centroid. And from here, we are going to position it properly. So if I drop a centroid transform, and I'm going to template the character from the side here, we are going to position this properly. Maybe even drop a M size right before, because we want it to be in the center on the x-axis. We just want to make sure that, like, if there's any, like, maybe the geometry is not perfect, it's not perfectly symmetrical, so it might be like a little too much on the right, a little too much on the left, you know. For now we can see it's actually perfect, so we don't really need to do this, but I'd rather do it anyway just in case. So we're gonna put the jaw around here. I feel like it should be here, maybe, yeah, and it's gonna be pointing towards there, and we're gonna be able to open the jaw like this. Nice. I'm just gonna move it aside here, gonna duplicate that and call this jaw. Now I'm going to add another bone, so centroid transform, and this one is going to be a bit further ahead. It is gonna be the end of the jaw, just so we can give it the right axis from the start. Now I'm going to take this back, clear, add a rename, and the rename condition is going to be everything, and we're gonna add end to it. So now the bone should be called jaw end. Perfect. Now we're gonna merge them, drop an add node, and in the polygon section we're gonna do it by group, and it's going to create a line on which we can orient those joints and initialize their axis. And for the Mixamo rig, the axis, the forward, yeah, I guess, is going to be y, and the up vector is going to be z in the minus. And this should be good. So this is for the jaw. We're gonna have to add a condition in here that says to not bind any end bone. So if I take this, and this is going to be called end, and that's perfect. Because we only want to bind the jaw, not the end bone. That's here. I do this. Yeah, perfect. Now I'm gonna merge all of this here. So now that this is merged, we can come here and parent the jaw to the head. And if I go into my joint bionic, it seems like the end has been binded. Nope. Okay, perfect. The end has not been binded, and we can move the jaw like this. Now, of course, like I said, the weight is like not there. This is not a video for the weights. The next video is going to be for the weight. So now we got the eyes, the jaw. The next thing is going to be the laces. I wanted we're gonna do the sockets a bit later, just because these are not bones that are going to be binded at all. So I just want to start with everything that's binded first, and then we're going to move to unbinded stuff. All right, so now I'm gonna take this back again, and I guess I'm gonna put it here since it's probably going to be the last one. And here I'm going to select the one of the laces. And what I'm gonna do for this one is a bit different. I'm going to use these geometries together to create a... I'm gonna uncheck this so that we can still see the points. Now we got like 10 points, right? Probably just lower the size of these discs like this. Yeah, this is nice. So we got 10 points here, and I'm pretty sure none of them are overlapping. Hopefully we got 0, 1, 2, 7, which is not really nice. The point orders are already like janky as fuck. We got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and none of them are overlapping, which is great. Now we're going to drop a sort node to change the point order, and we want the points to be sorting on the y-axis, and we're gonna reverse it because we want the 0 to be at the top and the last number to be at the bottom. And from here we can drop a for each point because we want to give them a name and a number on top of that. So for the for each begin, we're gonna create a meta import node, and this is I'm gonna rename it metadata. It is gonna store the iteration number of the point we are at. So if I come here and I select single pass, right now we are at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 until 10, until the last number of iteration. And this, like I said, stores the iteration you are at. So for each of this point, is going to take the iteration. We're going to take the iteration number and add it to the naming convention. So I'm gonna drop a name node, or actually I'm just gonna duplicate this one because the start is already kind of good. So we got left underscore lace, right? And here I'm going to put dials in between the on each side of the OS to tell the node that this is an expression, this is not a string. And now we're gonna put a underscore dial, and we're gonna write detail, because the iteration attribute is in the detail section of the metadata node. So we're going to get the detail of what is the node we're trying to get. We're trying to get metadata. All right, close the quotes, comma, and then we get the string attribute name, so the name of the attribute we want to get. So we're gonna open the quotes, write iteration, close the quotes, comma, and the float attribute index is basically the number that's connected with I'm more of a visual person for explaining these things. So let's say the p attribute here, we're going to see the p attribute is a float 3, right? So that means there are 3 parameters to the float. That's to the capital P attribute. And for each of them, they have an index number. So the first one is 0, because computers always start at 0. The second one is 1. And the third one is 2. So 0, 1, 2. And for an attribute like the bone capture also has more okay. So let's say if I was to look at FBX material name string, for example. An FBX material name string in here, there is nothing, but on top of that, there's really one index to it, and it's always going to be 0. So if I look at the metadata, so in the iteration, the index is 0 because there's no more than 1 parameter to the index. So if we go back here, we have 0, and now we're gonna close the parentheses, and we're gonna do plus 1, and then we're gonna press the dial number to close the function that we created. And the close one is just because I don't want my naming convention to start at 0. I want it to start at 1. So all of the numbers are going to get a +1 on their name. So if I look at the names here, you can see that all the naming convention is set properly. We can see it here actually better. So that's good. That's perfect. One more thing we need to do actually is to remove all of the attributes that come from comes from the geometry, because it's gonna mess up with what we want to do later. Now we got our points. We're gonna drop a add node, and we're gonna connect them and create and give them the orientation that they need. This is actually not good. It's not what I want. For anything that's below the hips, Mixamo usually puts the z-axis to look forward. So instead of being an up vector in -1, it's going to be an up vector in 1. So good. We have our laces. We are gonna want to mirror this hierarchy. So if I do a skeleton mirror, and this should mirror absolutely everything. Do we have a caveat when it comes with the axis. So orientation. If I take a repose, yes. So the orientation should be exactly the same on both sides. So I guess the only turn left into right, of course. Now we got left and right, but now the axes are not good either. So I'm gonna take this and reorient only the bones that are in the right axis. And now they are exactly the same on both sides. So that's perfect. We love that. And we are going to add this to our hierarchy. And in here, we're gonna use splines to animate these. Okay, so we're gonna parent them to the hip. And if I look at my bi-harmonic joint, they should be connected properly now. And if I look in here and I uncheck that, I should be able to select this and move them. Perfect. And if I move this, yeah, everything seems to be actually good. Nice. For now, we're just gonna add the toes. Okay, so let's do this. Toes, gonna select the proper geometry to start with. We're going to do we need to clean? I don't really think we need to. I'm gonna use a different kind of workflow, so I'm gonna extract the curve from edge, right? And we are going to select our curve, the curves that we want. So I want my toe to always kind of start here, right? Not like this exactly, but I want my toe to kind of start around this position. So gonna select these. So this is what I'm starting with. And ooh, I think it's keeping all of the information. So centroid. So now I'm extracting the centroid from the bone. And if I look at this, it actually looks fine. So that's awesome. Now we're gonna want something that's like in between here, and we're gonna have the end bone here maybe, or wait, maybe here, and then another one here, or no, I'd rather just have one and the split here. Actually, just name it properly. Call this oh, actually, we're gonna do the naming after, just for procedural reasons. Okay, so let's duplicate and let's continue this. So next hierarchy, next bones that we're selecting are these. Perfect. And the last one, or the thumb, or the pinky. It's inside, yes, the thumb, whole thumb. Oh my god, why did I do this like that? What the fuck? That's actually crazy. Okay, and this split. So now, so here we're missing a clean node, so that we don't have any attributes that's coming to that's gonna like mess up our what we're doing right now. So okay, got the add where are the points? Okay, extract. This should be over details. These two should be details as well. Now we got our points. If I do a add, got all of my points. But before the add, we want to do a for each points. And we're gonna do like the last one where it's body dot pose. Right? That should be good now. We should have the proper names for each of them. Okay. And now the only thing I'm going to change is maybe get a sample so that we can do this quickly on the other bones. We're gonna use the curve view, and we're gonna use the split at curve view equal 1, invert only points, and yeah, here we're gonna drop a new add to remove the geometry because we don't want any primitives. And then here I'm gonna drop a name. Gonna take whatever's coming in between those underscore and turn them into end. Gonna run it over points. Oh, I didn't do that properly. So it's not in the naming, it should be in the rename. Perfect. So now we have this. That doesn't really make sense. It's name, whatever. Then here name probably. Oh, it's because I didn't change that. Oh. Left underscore toe Tom. Okay, and if I come here, this is turned into and now we can merge these two and drop the final add on which we will connect all of them. And then after that we got the orient points. Actually I want to delete the curve view because we don't need it anymore, so I should do delete curve view, and should be fine. Nope, not fine. So 0, 1, and this one is going to be up for real this time. 0. Okay, so this is good. This is what we want, and now we want to like mirror them. So mirror. Perfect. Return the L into R, and that's almost perfect. Only thing missing is changing the orientation so it's actually proper. So those are actually R. Anything with R is going to get the orientation changed. So that's cool. This is the end part of all of this, and in here we can actually put all of that into a subnet. I wouldn't put this because they all use that. So we do Shift C to put all of this into a subnet. This is going to be and I'm gonna call it left toe so that's cool as fuck. And now what we can actually do is in here, instead of being OS, it's going to be OP name, or wait, OP name OP name, open bracket, we go get the name of, oh shit, the string. So open quotes, we go get the name of the node that we need. So just double dot slash twice, and this should be enough to get the right name. Oh shit, okay, no, this is okay, we went too far up, so it's only one that we need. So now it actually takes the name of the bigger node instead of taking the name in here, and we'll be able to change the name here. Like if I add this, see, it adds to all of them. So now I can do this is going to be index. This is going to be middle, and this is going to be pinky. Perfect. We can merge them all together. Okay. And from there, we will, the only thing left to do is to maybe drop in null. That's easier to see. Just get the proper edges that we want for the bone placement. Perfect. That's nice. So now that we have all of our bones set to the correct joints, we can now actually merge all of this in here. All right. Very nice. So now we just need to turn them to the proper bones. So good. Actually, something that's gonna make this so much faster is here. I can just do this. Here we go. And now we're gonna do the same thing here. Ain't that beautiful? We love it. We love to see it. We love to see it. We love it. So now if I go to my bone capture here, and I remove the naming stuff, move this, moves fine. If I move this, it moves fine. If I move this, it moves fine. If I move this, it doesn't do anything. Perfect. We love to see it. Okay, so now all of the binded bones are binded, all the extra bones we needed for the binds. So now we'll be able to animate our mouth, we'll be able to animate our eyes, and we'll be able to animate our toes and laces. So that's cool. I should probably put some extra bone to animate the jacket, but I don't really care for now because I feel like the weights on the jacket is actually pretty fine, and I don't think the customer is gonna do it. If he ever needs to, we can add this extra. So now that we have our extra bones, we can export this right away to see if what we've done worked properly. So if we do a FBX character output, right? And maybe I'm gonna move this here instead. And this is going to go down here. I'm gonna select, change the name for SK Frog. Nope, I'm in the wrong place. So in export, SK Frogman is going to be the base. Change the clip range to render current frame. Gonna uncheck empt media. Port user define attribute, remove constraint. I think everything else should be fine. If you're using the Houdini scaling to do your rig, I feel like this is the best way to work in Houdini. These settings should make it so that when you import it into Unreal, it will have the proper scale, the proper scaling. So now save to disk. All right, let's get back to Unreal, and now inside the meshes, I'm gonna right click here, re-import from a new file, and the new file is not in asset, it is in export. So SK Frogman, if I can do that. So if I go into the skeleton, are we gonna see them? It seems like we do. So it's not on the base skeletal mesh, which is totally fine, but it is on the skeleton of the character, the actual skeleton. And we love that. So if I look here, neck, head, we have the jaw, the eyes, and that's super cool. If I move this, we can actually move them in real time in Unreal. Once again, this is not a weight painting video. This is going to be in the next video, but we will keep on going now. So the only bones we're missing are the sockets for the hands and the root bone. So we're gonna start working on this now. Since these bones don't need to be binded, we're gonna add them after they've been binded, after we've binded the bones to the geometry. So I'm gonna put these a little lower, maybe in here, add a merge, because we're gonna put them here and another parent point so that we can parent the joints to the proper bone and have a good hierarchy. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to take the animation and bring it in here instead, because we won't be using this anymore. And now, just for ease of use, I'm connecting these to the bone deform so we can see how these bones are being modified in real time. So let's start with the root. It's actually super simple to do. Just drop a add. You add a sorry. You add a point, and you can already name it. I'm gonna name this root. Actually keep this first line OS. Points. Right, and now the name is root. I don't think we really need to do anything more than this for the root. And now, okay, this is just removing this. Now we're going to make the root child of the hip, and that's because if we make the root parent of the hip, it's not going to be able to get the animation that comes straight out of Mixamo, and we want to make this as easy of use for our customer. So, I mean, our my customer who's my friend. If the root is parent of the hips, it's not going to be able to find the animation is not going to be able to apply itself properly. But if it is child of the hip, it will work either way. So that's nice, and we love that. And then after that, maybe in a couple more videos, I'm gonna show you guys how to like use the root in animation into Houdini so that it transfers properly to Unreal once you do like a walking cycle or run cycle or like, you know, movement based animations. I mean, dynamic animations where like you will probably want the root to be, you will want the root to calculate where the position of the character is in the world. Yeah. So now we have our root. The next bones are going to be the hand sockets. And for the hand sockets, I'm gonna duplicate this OBG merge, get the bones instead. And now I'm going to blast the hands based on the names of the points. So I'm gonna take the hand, index, and the middle, and from here they're blasted. We're gonna blast the opposite, get the bounding box, and then from here we're going to drop a centroid that's gonna run over the detail. So now we have our bone, our first bone, which is going to be called name, going to be called left hand socket. So yeah, $sign OS imperative, and perfect. So now we should have the name of the bone set properly. Now we will just need to mirror this. Keep original. So now that it's mirrored properly, you know, we're gonna change its name. Just change the left to okay, and it's been modified here. Pretty nice. And then we can merge them back together, and we will merge this with the root. Yes, in case we have other bones like this that we would probably want to add to the hierarchy. And this is gonna come like this, and I'm gonna move it aside so that it doesn't go over my other nodes and it's clearer to see. So now we got the hand sockets, and if I look at my bone deform, the hand sockets stays at the place they are because they have not been parented to their respective hand. So I'm parenting the left hand socket to the left hand and the right hand socket to the right hand. Last thing I forgot to do is change the position of these sockets, because right now they are inside the hand. We want them to be right in front of the hand so that it's easier for whoever's gonna use the rig to see where to place their stuff, where they place their stuff. So from centroid, we're gonna template the geometry, and we are going to lower it so that it's at the proper position. Perfect. And if I come back here, oops. Okay, if I come back here, you can see that now the sockets move with the rest and the root as well. So that's absolutely so fucking cool, guys. This is absolutely so fucking cool. So now we're gonna export the character again and go back to Unreal, and we are going to re-import, not from new file because we just modified the same file. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. Those left hand socket. So yeah, we just need to close the pages and reopen them to be able to see the bone hierarchy, and it's the same here. Perfect. And we have our root here. That's perfect. So now that we have all of this set up, we will bring in an animation from Mixamo. So if I go back to my Mixamo, here we still have this, and if you don't have it, you can always re-upload the Mixamo version that we had exported earlier. So if I take my assets, we got SK Frog here. This is the Mixamo, the base version that we exported from Mixamo. We can literally take it, bring it back in, because I've been inactive on this page for so long. I'm being disconnected, so that's cool. So we sign into Mixamo, and now we upload. Like let's say I had another character selected here. We can re-upload the SK fragment. And it works like a charm. Now, if we want to get an animation, let's get I don't know, something funny like this dance. Oh, this one is actually really cool. Okay. We're gonna put some spacing in the arms so that it doesn't clip too much. Maybe more spacing. Okay, that's cool. There's some okay, if I put it to the max. Okay, no, it doesn't change anything. Gonna look more goofy. Maybe more waves in the body. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. For some reason this animation is trimmed. If I reset it. Oh, if I take more of the range. Oh yeah, it's just weird when it's not trim. So anyway, this one loops, and that's perfect. So we're gonna export this on uniform. The basic settings should be fine. I honestly, without skin, I've never tried without skin. I'll probably try it later, but the base like this should be fine. I always like to put non-uniform just in case I want to modify the animation. I feel like the non-uniform one is easier to modify afterwards. So we download. Work asset hip hop dance. We're gonna change the name because we want to keep our naming convention as it should be. So sk underscore frogman and the name of the animation after. And I save. And if we go into Unreal, we're gonna make a animation folder. Animation assets. And I'm gonna take this animation and bring it in. We're gonna reset the options and use the pipeline default. We're gonna not import the textures, not import the materials. And in animation, it's important we select import only animation, right? We go back to animation, and then here we are going to select the skeleton of the character we want to have the animations. And if I look in here, we can see that we are only getting the animation. So we do import, and if I bring this into the scene, look at this. That is so cool. The only caveat is that the legs look weird, like it's sliding all around. I'm not really sure if there's anything we can do about that to fix it. We would need to like bring it into Houdini and fix the animation and such. But yeah, it's it is what it is for now. So today we were able to take the Mixamo rig, create a Mixamo rig with the auto rig builder, give it some extra bones that we needed for controls, either in Unreal or in anime, or when you're animating them. And we were able to import an animation and have it work with our new rig straight out of Mixamo. I'm gonna show later how to modify the animation so that the roots work properly. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.